Oh my God.
I bet.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Club Noir. Or noir. Still getting, getting the hang of it.
Noir.
Yeah.
That
So-
sounds very luxury. I like that.
Noir?
Yeah.
You love the noir.
It's noir.
It's very spooky. Yeah. It's giving, right?
It's
Yeah.
giving. It's giving what it's
Is it
supposed to
giving, y'all?
give.
It's giving.
The math is mathing.
So, these topics be flowing.
They do.
We had
These lyrics
Deona
be going.
just really, we know Deona from CCNY now for a minute now. Was talking, was like, yo, she's in the arts, she's on the scene, she was like, yo, I want to relationships, and I was like, fire, we was like,
That's
fire. I
not
was
the
like,
F word
fire.
I thought you was about to use. That's not the F word I thought you was about to use. It came out with so much force.
Oh, I mean, 'cause
So-
I'm excited,
Yeah,
Word.
it's okay.
Man,
It's
we
all
love
right.
the energy.
And then, I'll be on the PS party with Adriel and Joao. Adriel's behind the camera, but yeah.
Hi,
so-
Adriel.
Hey.
What's up, bro?
And Joao was like, bro, I want to talk about that too, bro. Like,
Yeah, me too. I got a lot to say, bro. I
bro.
got a lot to say.
A lot to say. So, without further ado, please, Deona, introduce yourself.
Okay, hi Club Noir. So my name is Deona. I'm an actress. I like to act. I like the arts. I like museums. I like to talk. That's why I'm here. But yeah, it's good to be here with you guys.
You
It's
better
gonna be fun.
do an applause, bro. Like, come on now, bro.
Oh man, my first time, bro. Don't do this to me, bro. Oh man.
Let's go.
Nobody knows yet. Come on, Joao, introduce yourself.
My name is Joao. I'm a good friend of Richard's, James. I'm into film, so you and I could collaborate.
connect.
Yeah, connections right here.
This
going
is
on,
what we
right?
do
I
here.
feel
No,
This
I
is what we do.
forgot. Like, I knew, but I forgot the parallels. I was like,
That's nice.
Great way to
You can
make
do
friends,
something.
yeah.
yo, Club Noir just be having connections, bro. It just be flowing.
Here for that.
Magically.
Here for that.
But yes, I'm Rich.
I'm Diamond.
And I'm James. What's up?
So today's about
We're not gonna
relationships.
talk about it.
Alright. Relationships are such an ambiguous topic. So we're gonna direct it back to Jimmy to get into the meat and potatoes,
Oh yeah, but real quick before the meat and potatoes, because it's a nice Valentine's Day special, but when time be flowing, and time be people say time be flies when you're having fun, but we want to give a quick shout out to y'all, shout out to the support and the love. It's been so great, so great.
Facts.
We appreciate y'all. Y'all have no idea. Yeah, and high key, some people been showing interest about wanting to be on the show. Click the link in the bio, Google Forms. It's mad quick. It's like a 3-minute process, probably less. Right? And we talk. You can be here. And high key, just want to do 2 more shout outs. Right? First, again, OG Kitchen Elmont. Put my bro on last week.
Jimmy changed my life with that busted food. This man made rasta pasta, and the wings was immaculate. And I don't even like chicken wings like that, respectfully, right? I'm more of a legs kind of guy.
Are we gonna
but
let that
those
slide?
wings was hitting.
Tell us how you feel about that in the comments, okay?
Word.
Doesn't like chicken.
But
We'll keep going.
And we got someone else too,
Where we do a
We
good
gotta,
friend
we
of
gotta-
ours,
a
right? A
good
good
friend of
friend
ours.
of
Shout out
ours,
Luke.
bro.
Dunzo Vision.
Word. And Dunzo.tv on Instagram, right?
Vibes. I'm definitely gonna put the shout outs at the end of the video so you can see them.
I'm gonna
Word.
have to go click the link. I don't
High
know.
key, he be doing some top tier photography. Hit him up and say, Club Noir loves Luke. 50% off.
15.
Oh,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
I love that.
15.
We
I
love
gotta
our
meet
discounts.
you. I gotta meet you.
Indeed.
I'm clicking
Yeah.
the link in the bio.
To get into the meat and potatoes of this Valentine's special, talking about relationships, right? We just got a lot going for y'all. So, on this topic, right, real quick, shoot me something. What's y'all green flags when it comes to relationships? Silence. Oh no.
I'm thinking.
I got answers,
I'm
but
gonna
There's
let
a-
you go first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
You
Yeah.
know,
wanna
allow them
start?
to.
Oh nah. Y'all can go.
A gentleman without having to ask him to be a gentleman, like someone who automatically knows to open doors, restaurant doors, store doors, car doors. They know how to walk on the right side of the street, stuff like that. Like just gentleman acts that I don't have to ask.
Chivalry.
How does a revolving door work?
I mean, then he lets me walk first. Yes.
Haven't been around too many revolving doors, but
And then
good to know.
he pushes the door behind me so that it can continue to flow
Oh, so you just walk. You
accurate
just,
speed.
Felt
Yeah.
that.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just
Real
Definitely.
princess.
luxury. That,
Yeah, just make sure you don't get the pace wrong, or else you go.
I mean, yeah, like they're not bum rushing me through the door. That would be gentleman-like. But okay. What about you, Deanna?
I would definitely say someone that like just openly communicates, and someone willing to communicate.
I like
That's
that.
a really big green
That's
flag
top
for
tier.
me.
You know, and I like you mention that because I feel like, you know, it's okay to not know how to communicate certain things, but the willingness is very important. Like
Yeah.
people really undermine effort, right? I'm not expecting anyone to be like to be foolproof, to be this immaculate human being all for it. But the intention and the want to for better, I think that's top tier in my opinion.
Facts.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yep, we're looking at you.
Okay,
You're looking at
pretty much like yours, but to expand it, it's more so of more of a clear understanding and open mind to even if you have different opinions or beliefs, try to actually be open and understanding what you're trying to say. You know, instead of just like telling them you're wrong, and then, you know, repeating yourself over and over again just gets tiring some. So I'd rather, you know, be with a woman that's like all about communications, but also being open-minded, you know?
I like
So
that.
we talk about that 2 episodes ago about critiquing accountability, right?
Yeah.
You know, don't be brutally honest. You be able to give constructive criticism because that's really key and important, right? Not just like, oh, this is bad. Okay, but what's good?
Exactly. And, like doing it in a way where you know people are going to be receptive, than just being like belligerent and cantankerous. Be like, all right, well, at this point, this person doesn't want to listen to you anyway. So. Were you really effective?
Right.
Just comes right out of the ear, bro.
Yeah,
Facts.
exactly.
I think a couple for me, I guess, loves themselves, right? I
That's
think
top tier
that's a
also.
huge thing.
Healed. You know?
Where, yeah, and like I think the communication is actually just like really big, and also like I just want to say like strong-willed in a way, like kind of like have a mind of her own, because I feel like a lot of times when people just kind of like, especially nowadays, like they're like me, like a lot of them be like, oh, you know, I just want somebody like super submissive and everything. Just like high key, if I was ever wrong, and like you're close to me, you love me, and etc. I'd want you to tell me I'm wrong.
Right.
Because why continue to let me be wrong and like cause danger to others or myself?
Yeah, facts.
That's not helpful to anybody here. Like literally, only thing you're saving is my ego. And like when people are actually being harmed, that doesn't really matter at that moment. So just like someone who's actually willing to like, kind of like, you know, also respectfully check me if I need to be checked. You know what I'm saying? Like that matters.
Like, yeah, if you genuinely care for someone, you don't want to see them go to the wrong direction.
Exactly.
Can
Exactly.
there be a balance also? Like there's certain points, like when you should be know when to be submissive and when not to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like a balance of life and things,
Yeah, I
right?
think
Because
that's
like even in like, let's say in like any like, yeah, and like, you know, any like good relationship or partnership, there will always be moments where like she will maybe like know something way more than me about a certain topic. So like, of course I'm gonna have to submit and be like, all right, bet, teach you what I gotta know, right? Lead me in a certain way where it's like, all right, well, because like you clearly have a certain area of expertise, right? You're knowledgeable on something. Another green flag, being smart, right? And it's just like, all right, bet, I'll follow in a certain direction that you clearly have more expertise in. You know, that's just be life. You know what I'm saying?
I want to table that because we got a topic for that. We're gonna talk about that. But Richard, what's your green flags?
Honestly, a big thing about me is like being ambitious in their own right, though. I feel too often times people have like this stereotypical, oh, don't sleep, work all the night. I'm like, nah. I like people who are individuals first and foremost, right? I personally don't find myself pressured by society or have the idealization by society. Now, I understand to some degrees people may have their, I guess, reactions and burdens and, you know, pushing onto them. But for the most part, having that security to be like, I'm different and I want to be different. And not to subscribe to a lot of these negative tropes. And to be like, yo, I want to be whatever you want to be, but also also putting the effort behind it, whatever that effort is entails, right? Not to be like, oh, like, let's say your thing is art and you like to draw, right? Do that, you know. Don't. I'm not expecting you to be this person who's like perfectionist, never sleeping, up all night, being like trying to be Picasso or Basquiat. But honestly, taking time to hone their craft and showing up for themselves, and be their own person. I feel like too often times in like relationships, people are kind of depending on a person to do something, and it's like,
I felt that.
I want you to be you before me. That way, I know that when we're together,
I like that.
it grows exponentially.
Money.
On the money.
Like and that's honestly a big thing on me. Like I just love that. It's like, I know she doesn't need me. She wants me. And people
Talk about it. Talk about it, bro.
That little razzle dazzle, that little stank on it.
She wants me.
like, like y'all trash. You want me?
Nah, facts.
Y'all not trash, of course,
bro, I feel like the same way, because like I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, well, she may like depend on this and may depend on that. It's like, yeah, sure, but it's just like I want her to be able to have like a certain set of things. Let's say financial security, like without me, so that she doesn't feel like her attachment to me is because that she has to depend on me. Because then that just means like, all right, but there's definitely then going to be moments where there's like disingenuous feelings, but they're not going to be expressed because they're like, oh well, I don't want to feel like I might get kicked out or something like that, or might be at danger because of that. So it's like knowing that those things are already set. It's just like, I bet. So the basis of us being together is purely out of a desire and a care for one another. Top tier, unparalleled.
That's big facts.
Unparalleled.
I also love men who are like independent with love. So not that they're dependent on me to take care of them or financially, whatever the case may be, but independent with love itself, because there are some men who can be dependent on love, especially like we hear a lot about how guys grow up and like they're told not to cry, or they're told that they can't do this, they can't do that, that's not manly, that's not masculine. So it's like there are some men who come out of that and they're like, no, I know I can do these things, but it's like they're a little overbearing with it. So they feel like you're supposed to pick up those pieces that they lost when they were a kid. But it's like when someone who they have their own independent love, they love themselves enough to know that, okay, I'm secure in my identity. I know what's masculine to me and what makes me a man. I don't need you to show me that, but it's definitely appreciated when you do, type thing.
That's
Like a lot of
it's that
facts
key,
right now.
right?
It's getting hot.
Appreciation,
It's getting hot
not
over there.
validation.
Right.
I think that's very key.
Yeah.
That is very, very key. Dang. Like, I love when I appreciate it, but not when it's like, oh, do that, like.
Right.
Like, it's so.
Like,
it's
I'm
such a
doing
weird
this
dynamic.
because you're like, you don't have to tell me that
Yeah.
type thing. Like, you can just do it and I can take it as that, But, yeah.
So many facts spit in like 5 minutes. That was crazy. Oh my goodness.
I'm getting warmed up to the podcast now,
I bet. Well, look, we set our green flags. So what are y'all red flags?
I was about to fall on the table,
hands?
like, ready. Like, listen.
Let me tell you about these.
Let's just look at Richard's shirt. All right. So,
Hold up. Not you. Now, I'm assuming you're not saying the sweater itself was the red
no,
flag.
no,
You're just talking about the color.
no. Just the color.
and the
Just
color
the color.
of
Yes, just the color. You had to like when you had to look at the sweater and visualize. Okay, red flags look like this. List them. That's it.
You said look at Rich.
Deona, I actually want to start with you. I do. I know you. Yeah, I do.
Okay. You want to start me?
That was that cute.
Ooh, red flags. I'm gonna have to bring this back to the communication part. I definitely feel like a red flag is a guy not willing to like communicate. Like if he's just like pushing off what I'm saying, or if he doesn't want to like have a conversation about it, that's a big red flag to me, because I just feel like, how are we going to be in a relationship if we can't communicate. I mean, and then after the communication definitely comes comprehension, but like let's start with the communication part. If we can't start with that, how we gonna get to the comprehension part?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a big red flag, you know, if they can't communicate.
Right.
It's just
Because it
not-
could be like, you hear me, but you don't hear me. Like, you don't really get what I'm saying. You just get it on the surface, and you're taking it for what I said. But what did I really say?
You don't even know.
Right. Exactly. What about you?
You could, James, you could go first.
Personally, Joao was ranting when I was in the PS party, so respectfully, bro, you gotta speak, bro.
We heard a lot about the fact that you wanted to have this conversation.
Right.
So let's have
I can tell you
this.
I can tell you holding back.
Ain't no passes.
We're no take backsies either, bro.
All right, I got it. There's like a lot. Are we talking about before joining a relationship or during the relationship?
Whichever one.
Yeah, I guess
one.
so.
You know.
I guess like before relationships, like you gotta get to know the person 100%. Like you don't want to date like a person that's like that doesn't 100% love themselves. You know, like currently in my status of loving myself is like 30%. Yeah, but even with that amount,
I love the honesty.
thank you. But even with that amount, I feel happy. Like Adriel, like I was like talking to him in the phone yesterday about me going to the gym, and I feel so good about myself.
Hey, yo, chill the cursing, bro.
I'm sorry about that.
I keep trying to edit this out every episode, man. I'm playing a song.
Sorry, bro.
Point.
But yeah, I felt good about myself because it's been a while since my confidence has ever been this high. Because like over in 2020, and especially 2021, it was just like the lowest of my life in terms of like what's going on with my life, my friends, family, careers, school, jobs, and in terms of relationships, it was like dragging me down. So when you want to like date somebody, you don't want to date someone that's developing toxicity, because that's gonna leech onto you. And my mistake was like still being there, but that's like I wouldn't, maybe it's unconditional love that I had for the person, because like I'm gonna still be there for 100% because I loved you, but it took like major stuff out of me, and like to the point where like I was like depressed, doing a lot of like stupid shit. Adriel was there. He can like tell you that. I'm not gonna say a lot was like on the podcast of what I did, but I'm gonna just say like I was down bad. But after when 2022 started picking up, I started going back to the gym, started doing things that I wanted to do, like dressing up nicely. I did earrings, got a job, going back to school. I got into film major for next semester, so like I'm really looking up to that. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
And I got a
You found it.
and I got a YouTube channel just like talking about reviews of horror films and all that.
Link gonna be in the bio.
We gonna have to drop.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
We
collaborate.
need to collab.
Yeah,
all right?
for sure.
After
we got
this,
to.
we're gonna talk about it. Cool.
But yeah, like you can't really like be with someone that doesn't love themselves 100%. Because if you be with them, you're not gonna love yourself either in the long run. So at the moment, I'm just like, I'm not gonna date anybody because I don't want to harm them, because I'm not fully there yet. So by next semester, maybe I'll start dating somebody. But
accountability right there.
Just to go off of what you said, what I do want to bring up is I feel like we shouldn't say that not loving yourself is a red flag, but I feel like we should just say that it's something that has to be worked on, because it's like we don't want to. Maybe that person who doesn't fully love themselves shouldn't be in that relationship yet, but we wouldn't want to say that, oh, you know what, you don't love yourself, so that's bad, that's a red flag, you know what I'm saying? But that's something that individual person has to work on.
Yeah.
So I would say if you just look at it from like that perspective, instead of telling someone, all right, that's a red flag, you gotta go. That person just has to do more work on themselves.
I agree too. I feel like it's very hard, and let me rephrase. It's very easy to not love yourself in terms of with a lot going on, right? I do feel like there's a distinction between not loving yourself and self-sabotaging. I think it's a very distinction to have, right? Yeah. So me personally, like, I think it's understandable to be with someone who doesn't love themselves, but to a certain degree, right? You say 100%, I don't know. I feel like 100%. I feel like it's a leniency, you know, where it's like, you know, not everyone has their little quirks or awkwardness or things that they don't appreciate themselves. We all do. We're all human. We're not perfect beings. And if you believe you are, sorry, bigger to you, but you're not. And once again, like you feel like you love yourself, cool, but you feel like in terms of like thinking that you're better than someone else and deserve more than someone else, that's what I'm talking about. Like you love yourself 100%. I love that for you.
Right.
Just to clarify. And I feel like it's the very, you know, we have to make that distinction where, okay, this person is working on themselves, but it's still open relationship and it's still willing to, compromise, still willing to build, still willing to do things and work with me together. It's just all depending on what you want and what you see yourself, right? Now, if you know that you are less lenient to be patient, less lenient to be someone who's working on it, that's okay too. We could be honest, like, yo, I am not in the mindset or the mind capacity or the health capacity to help you. Right? I feel, and that's not a red flag that I have. People falling with ideologies or what perfect relationship is and not falling for what they want.
Right.
Too often times people say red flag and it's like just compatibility.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's like
I like that. I actually want to piggyback off that. That competitive, the word ain't coming out right now, but that's the one. But when where's your words? Okay, cool. It's like, I like what you said about, like, it doesn't automatically mean that it's a red flag. Like, yes, that can be something that you look out for, and it's definitely not something that you should ignore.
definitely yes.
But if you are in a position to, help them heal. Help them, like, learn to love themselves. And if they are cooperative with it, and you guys reach that substantial point where it's like, okay, like, I like this person, this is just one minor flaw that I see, and I feel like it's something we can work on, and then now we can move forward. But if you see that it's something that they're not willing to work on, then that's the red flag. Like, them not like wanting to love themselves, because going back to the dependent love, they'd rather you love them than to love themselves.
So they're not willing to make any changes in their life.
Exactly.
And also being to accept me personally, I know I don't put this out there. Let me rephrase it. Yeah, it's just I can understand being with someone, right? And you kind of having this mindset of, well, you know, they're helping me, and then you see you helping them, and they're like, well, you know, I want you to help me too. Like, not to say help is, you know, the help is subjective in a sense, but in terms of reciprocity, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
Our favorite word.
I'm covering a lot of areas, and you're not really doing so much. And it's supposed to, like, you know, I don't want some space because I don't want to make demands of you as my partner. So I'm giving some space and working yourself, right? That's not a bad thing, right? Someone saying that they want someone to give them more, it's just about compatibility. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that, oh, I suck, I can't give the person more. No, it's not saying that, right? Especially when you can't. It's this between not wanting to and because
Not able to.
Yeah, not able to, right? It's completely different things. We have to be very self-aware of the journey we are on, and once you are introduced to something that is better, please try. I know how uncomfortable it is. I know how hard it is, but please try to change in that positive light, in that positive aspect, because that's key. Because honestly, once you pass that threshold, you'll be surprised how people you are going to allow. I'm talking to you about this.
Me?
Yes.
I don't know if you're looking at me.
About how establishing boundaries also create entrances. People really overlook that. Oh, dang, Rich, if I put this wall up and vet people and be more critical of who I allow in my space, I'm not gonna have any friends. No, you're not gonna be around people you are right now.
Right.
You'll meet new people.
And they'll be more than likely better people.
Exactly.
Right.
Because they are able to respect boundaries that people
Fit that criteria.
Right. That's literally like a few years ago, somebody basically told me, someone I was in a relationship with too, told me that I would never meet men like you and James. Literally. And I'm like, I didn't even want them to explain that theory. But it was like, what did he say? He said, every man that you get, because he was cheating on me multiple times.
Oh.
So he was like, every man that you get with, or any man that you get with, is going to cheat on you. So you might as well stay with me. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nah.
What?
like that's big red flag. that's big red flag. I was like, what?
Bro,
So
what's
it's
that?
like,
Bro, play that sound.
Where?
Where's the wrong sound?
Where was
bro?
he
What's
from?
that Trump?
I'm just curious.
You said that sound, man. That's too bad.
The Bronx.
All the derogatory sounds, bro.
Jamaican. Okay.
yeah, not to say nothing about Jamaicans, not to say nothing about.
You heard that, Jimmy?
Wait, what?
Jamaican man?
That's why I said
Wagwan.
I'm not gonna say that this is all Jamaican men.
We're gonna
because
keep
she
this.
asked me this, right?
Keep this out of the
I'm not
box.
gonna say that this is all men in the Bronx because we have a Jamaican man
Wagwan.
and one that lives.
Clarify. I'm from Queens.
I said lives in. I didn't
I
say
sleep
from.
Queens ain't no better.
I sleep in the Bronx. Don't live there. Okay. Just clarify.
Okay.
I be there sometimes,
Abby's
but I am a Queens boy, right?
But okay, yes, this is not to say that all men who fit into this quote unquote category are like this or would say things like that. But that was just like, and it's like I could have let my mind stay there and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go into every relationship like this and expect that everybody's gonna cheat on me just because he said so. But it's like I had to take it upon myself to be like, okay, there's a difference between what I heard, what I was told, and what I actually want. So I'd rather believe what I want to believe in the situation that I'd rather be in than to put myself in distress before it even happens. So
And people, don't let their pain be your pain.
Facts, yeah.
please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
The saddest, but that's coming from a brother who was hurt, right? Me personally, I had, growing up, I'm trying to think of one man who was actually respectful, young black man to people. I'm talking about, I can't speak. Scratch that.
On here.
Right? Because I'm aware that I didn't grow up in certain circumstances with men around me, right? Men teaching me how to be a man and empowering and being respectful and literally respecting women who they are with and having kids with, and then growing and being a respectful adult, right? I didn't experience that. Do I know it's possible? Yes, but I'm able to distinguish that this is different from what I can be, right? And we have to really understand that people hurt people, right? What they're going through, they have to go through. Now, we're not saying wish harm to them, unless they do something derogatory. It's crazy. Respectfully, we disagree. Some may disagree. However, when it comes to claims and just verbiage and just words that hate speech, that's their pain. Don't let that affect you, right? Wish them the best and create distance.
Yeah.
Facts. Sometimes it isn't even worth battling them or fighting them on their ideals, because if they're pushed to that point to being so miserable, don't waste energy and time for your health.
Word.
Yeah.
Especially because we're just keep distance, honestly. Because it's just like if someone's really like basically like hell bent on trying to like bring you down, it's just like, bro, go leave.
Facts, bro.
Like, and honestly, just create, you
need
gotta create that
Jesus.
space. Word. And I am not him, so I can't help you right now. Oh man.
Stop it.
Wait, what?
I think at least 3 of us said all men. All right.
Oh yeah.
What's
I wanted to say "oh man" again, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. So.
I didn't say that.
Question. So, has he ever like reflected on his actions when he cheated on you, like multiple times?
That's good. What do you mean by that?
Because I cheated before, like 2 times,
She said we can no longer have a conversation.
And don't get me wrong, like I feel extremely guilty of what I did, like till this day, sometimes it lingers in my mind. And
So
just,
like, did he self-reflect on it?
Yeah, like did he like grow from it?
Personally, from what I've seen, I wouldn't say so because of the encounters that we've had after. Like, I can hold a grudge, but I can hold a grudge for but so long because I'm a very supportive person, and he's someone in like a field that I'm very interested in. I'm a 5-year vocal music major, so it's like I'm more of a feature. I don't really like being too mainstream. I'm more of a feature, but he's in a similar field, but as an artist. So it's like, okay, I like that because I can use my talents to help you and vice versa. So how can I help you? You know, and it's not just for my benefit. It's more so like, okay, I get to have this experience and I get to help you at the same time. Let's kind of see where this goes. So it doesn't matter what happened in the past or what we disagreed on. This is not that. This is a different situation. But like just in terms of conversations, obviously, if you're in a conversation with your ex, if they're like that, then they continue those conversations from time to time and they reflect on the past. And sometimes I could be the toxic one too. So I reflect on the past too. And it's like he said that he's grown from it and that he's different and this, that, and the third. But it's like, your actions show me very different. So it's like, yeah, you can say you did that, but did you actually change your actions? And it's like, no.
Usually when they just claim, you know, like I've changed, like they
Right.
just speak it like that, I'm like, I don't believe in those
Right.
words.
The fact that you had to tell me you changed don't show me that
Exactly.
you changed.
Like just show me what you've been doing actively,
Right.
and like
I could see that without you having to tell me type thing.
exactly.
That's interesting how you brought up just like imagining having to work with that same person like in the same field after they've, you know, done all of these things to you, and being able to look at it like, okay, if this is business, this is business. And that's hard because it's just like, okay, this person like cheated on me, but yet we're about to work together on this, something that means a lot to me and it means a lot to them, and now I have to kind of like put all of my feelings to the side for business purposes. That's
We're
like
just
really
all
Yeah.
just to drop kick them.
And that's,
The way-
and that's what me, I guess, because I'm such a passionate person, right? How do I word this? I was about to say I'll blur lines, I don't blur lines. I like, character means is a big factor with business endeavors, right? For example, e-board for student government, I mean black student, I don't take student government. Right, podcast, things of that nature. Anytime I'm doing a business endeavor, I'm really questioning the character of one individual, right? Now, I'm not gonna say anyone is innocent and anyone is inherently bad, but the ability to learn from your mistakes is very key.
Yeah.
And me personally, I need to be around people who can be like, yo, I'm looking for better. Because I want to protect that as well. And I also think that promotes even better businesses, right? Now, of course, we can compartmentalize and do for the what's in the, I guess, the more monetization or the better outcome for living circumstances in terms of money and revenue and monetary success. But me personally, I feel like success is a holistic experience, right? Having the character, having this the currency, and having the freedom and to exercise what you want to do. So
Yeah.
I just mean like I need to see good character. That's literally a no-brainer. I can't do it.
For me, I feel like the only reason why I mean, I don't do it anymore,
Yeah, of course.
but I feel like the reason that I was willing to do it is because the person he was when we were together years before, that's not the person he is when we're conducting business. So I'm not looking at him in more of, oh, you hurt me, you did this, because I allowed myself to heal from that experience, and I was like, I'm calling my own shots. Currently I'm living in my singleness, and you taught me what I didn't want. So it's like, I can either take it as, oh my gosh,
That
you hurt
one.
me, and
That
not
one.
move on, or I can take it as, that's a lesson learned. Now I know how to move forward in the next relationships.
That is the story of my life. The amount of times people have assumed that I'm some rich guy
Because you're rich.
who's had great dual parent household because of some things that I've been saying, and I was like, look, I've been taught what not to do.
Right.
Now I know what not to do.
Exactly.
Well, I don't appreciate. Well, I don't say appreciate. Let me rephrase. I don't take advantage
Take advantage, yeah. You want that.
of the hard cards out there too, right? Now, of course, it's way easier than done. I completely acknowledge that and I accept that, and I'm admitting it.
Right.
There is still a possibility to reflect and change your perspective. To be like, wow, a lot of people mess up because they don't know what is bad. I now know what is bad. I don't know what is good, but I can assume an imagination. People really discredit their imagination. Use your imagination. Because you have the real circumstances right in front of you mapped out. literally mapped out.
Right.
And it's sad to say, but if you've really been through some messed up stuff, you've seen all realms of it. I know I have. I know to be honest and be like, look, I want this. I need this. And also to acknowledge that this is selfish, this is biased, and this is of a moral higher purpose. And to be able to distinguish that, because I've seen people fall for bigotry, for empty promises, relationships that's not based on value, not based on acceptance, not based on truly wanting that person. That's nothing too. Another red flag. Stuff like that. people who want a relationship and not me.
Wait, repeat that?
Wait, what?
People who want a relationship and not me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Why is that a red flag?
Because Jimmy got it.
Go ahead, James, go.
I don't want to get too ranty because that was
Now get
that was different.
Get ready.
Nah, because like a lot of times, a lot of people just kind of want to be with another person, but they don't actually value the individual they're with. They just value that they're with somebody.
Especially when you're a respectful
Yeah.
young man.
So
Exactly.
That's my biggest
so they
problem.
want a relationship, and they're in the relationship with you because they want the relationship, but not because they want you.
For example, like,
Exactly.
I've been literally,
and you're just there to like fill a void.
I've
Okay,
been like
okay,
literally,
okay.
I've been valued based on how I treat women, and not who I am. I said these aren't even like I'm like these are just like.
But
pretty
you
much
just with me because it's
anyone that can inhibit. You think that
Right.
anyone can inhibit? Like these aren't even like unique. Like you have to hear one uniqueness about me as an individual.
Can we talk about how, like, failed talking stages, how helpful they are? Like, that's really, they're so helpful. If you
I
didn't
could
know,
die.
I'm here to tell you.
I could
but
die.
Failed talking stages, I will be that person to say, like, everything that you learn from those experiences is going to help you in that relationship that's just going to be bomb. It's going to work out. I'm here to tell you it's going to work out for you, okay? Like, I'm preaching to you. I'm testifying.
Right. I feel like what people don't utilize, like people utilize the talking stage as, okay, I'm talking to this one person, we're about to be in a relationship. It's like, okay, cool. That's one thing. But you also need to look at it on the spectrum of I'm talking to this person, I'm getting to know them, and I'm becoming their friend first. 9 times out of 10, if you become somebody's friend first while you're talking, and it doesn't even have to be anything sexual. Like, you guys can literally just engage in conversation. I don't know why people feel like they can't do that. But just engage in conversation and be their friend first. 9 times out of 10, you will know more about them than you just trying to rush into the relationship. Because people close themselves off in relationships more than they do in their friendships, which is why your boyfriend would rather talk to his bros about his problems than to talk to you. He'd rather go play with his bros for 6 hours than to stay cuddled with you because he has some things on his chest that he needs to say that he doesn't feel like you understand. But
Well,
you never took that time to get
If
to know
I
him
said
in
there's
that way.
someone building like Southwest 240 in Fortnite, I'm not sure if you understand. So.
Come on.
I mean, I mean that too, but it's like there's just certain levels
Time
of
out.
friendship.
Put my head out.
Main shield or big
This
pot?
is where I
What's your
get
first?
hurt.
I'm kidding.
They couldn't answer that right now. Anyway, comment it for him.
But yeah, like for real. And honestly, but I do want to acknowledge that don't be their friend and be the friend that wants something ulterior motives.
Right, right.
Be intentional.
Don't be their friends with benefits.
Personally,
Ooh.
I talking stages, I just don't find them really, I guess, tangible. I guess because due to the oversaturation of the normalcy that I'm talking to you, so that is something of merit and high merit. So that gives me more access to date you in the near future. I find that like date you in like
I don't like
courting.
that.
So it's like, oh well, I've talked to this woman on FaceTime, texting for months now. I've actually been my girlfriend. She's gonna say yes. Y'all ain't going on dates.
Well, then, like,
you know this.
But the talking stage isn't always just
talk.
talk. It's not just
That's
talking.
that's what I also wanted to touch on. Like, let's really think about, everyone has their own definition of what a talking stage is.
Right.
Like,
I
there's
avoid it
there's
completely.
dating,
I don't use that at all.
there's dating. Some people say they're talking to someone, but like, really, let's get to it. Like, what's your definition of like talking to someone?
That's the thing though. I feel like when you say dating, it's puts an action to it that then establishes a more intentional relationship, right? For example, and also I think people put dating too high. It isn't this high grand thing where it's like, oh, dating means I really, really like this girl. I really like this guy. I really like this person.
That's a crush.
Yeah, but also dating it's like a trial and error period, right?
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
you have to share some kind of experience with this person, at least one-on-one, to see how it plans in the future. And I feel that's even for a friend.
But I have to say, I think the reason why a lot of people treat it that way is because there's few people that, let's say on like on both sides, basically, like if you're initiator or non-initiator, there's going to be few people that they're willing to take out on dates, or few people they'll allow to get taken out on dates. And so it's just like, if you pass this threshold, well, yeah, you got to be something important, right? Because if I see, like, let's say I don't know, talk to some random girl in the DMs, which I don't do, but hypothetically speaking, right? Let's do a little no, not the right. Yes. All right, let's say we're just imagining something, right? We're just like kind of imagining where like I was talking to a girl in DMs, like more than likely they're not gonna be taken out if she's not basically like impressive, right? That's just how people are gonna be. Like I'm not, because obviously I have to like plan a date. Of course, if I expect to also then be impressive, I have to plan out a date, plan to either like pick you up or get you an Uber, pay for it, whatever it may be. I don't care to complain about it or whatever like that, not at all. But obviously then on the other side, if someone's gonna ask me something like that, if I'm gonna say, yes, I want to spend time with you, you must have also then impressed me, because if I value my time, I'm not just gonna give it away indiscriminately. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like kind of like another way to look at it in terms of like why people may value it a lot, just because, especially now, we've even talked about like how like there are a lot of people who just get like viewed so like they're just kind of like over sexualized, that like they're never actually asked on like actual dates.
And I think that's honestly my, because when you said that was like, yeah, but I was like, my mind was like, duh, because it's already implied for me.
Yeah, but then you like kind of think about other
like,
people.
Okay, it makes sense from our experience with other experiences.
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh wait, I didn't say that explicitly because it's already implied.
I don't know though. I think that, you see how you were saying that, like, if you were interested in the person, you would like plan a date, go out with them and stuff like that. But it's just like, also you don't want to like, the other person in the situation doesn't want to imply. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say that, it's like, okay, you have some people that'll just go out on a date because they just want to go out on a date, but then there's no like feelings behind that. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I feel like in that type of situation, that part about being vocal is very important.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's just like,
Facts.
Yeah, you don't want to waste your time or money
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
High key.
Exactly.
If on the date you said you weren't impressive at all, I just wanted food. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how
I
people's
feel
going
like
to be. Like
that's the
we
actual
have to-
benefit of the talking stage.
Exactly, and that's why I said, like, let's say we start in a DM, and I can kind of like, I guess, visualize how you are. I don't know, but kind of understand you a bit, right? And I can like try to understand certain tendencies, certain likes, dislikes. It's based on that, which, yeah. It's based on that where people kind of determine whether they're gonna like want to then go out there to spend time with somebody. Which is why then I was saying like, yo, you kind of still have to be. More than likely, not always, but more than likely, at least somewhat impressive to the person, assuming that they actually genuinely want to date you the same way. Because if someone says, "Oh, let me take you out," and you just get a free meal, yikes.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to say though,
Yikes.
something from my past that I learned in terms of dating. When you get that energy, on the premise is reciprocated, right? If she's reciprocated, I'm being a guy because I'm a guy, so. If you get that energy, that is vivid, like it's not so explicit. She's saying like, "Oh, I like you, I want to date you," but like that, that she's texting you, she's engaging with you,
showing effort,
to be with you, or just be in the vicinity of you. Be intentional and say, "Let's go on a date." This whole thing of saying, "Oh, let's hang out, let's see each other," it creates like a kind of ambiguous kind of. You kind of start falling off because now it's like.
right.
You're missing, like you
Word,
you
because
got it. You got
like,
it.
literally,
Get it.
because like now you're home, you're really expected to like kind of reach a certain level, and they'd be like, let's
hang out.
let's just
And
let's just do them.
it may be actual dates, but the wording matters.
because that's
The
how all
wording,
the expectations,
yes.
are set up.
If I would have known this now, bro,
The wording definitely does
Not him
matter.
having flashbacks.
Okay.
bro, the amount of times I was like, it's funny because
Oh man.
Like the things that I learned, and like you said, the whole failures. It's so enlightening. But gosh darn it. I don't say gosh darn it. It's just the alternative I
I
can't
want to
say.
answer your question real quick, only because for me, there's different stages of relationships. And you said, how do we go about the talking stage, or how?
How do you? What would you describe as a typical talking stage?
Okay, so first I'm gonna list out how I see. Like, in my head, I live in the perfect world. Okay, so let's say there's the talking stage first, or in my head, it should be the talking stage first, dating, courting, marriage. Okay, that's just for me. I'm not saying this is how it should be for anybody else. This is just for me. When it comes to the talking stage, that's texting, calling, FaceTime. We could meet up a couple times. Not that it has to be a date, right? I can pay for myself. I'm a grown woman. I make my own money.
Period.
We can literally go out to eat. We can grab something to eat. I could pay for myself. You could pay for yourself. We could literally sit there and talk. We could go for a walk, whatever the case may be, and it doesn't have to be a date simply because we're not there yet, or we didn't agree to be there yet. Then when it gets to the dating part, okay, that's when it's like, okay, in the talking stage, we've established a mutual interest. So that means I actually like you, you actually like me. I like what I see you can bring to the table. You like what you see I can bring to the table based off the conversation that we had the entire time of our talking. So it doesn't mean we just have to be on a phone or be on FaceTime, but we can also be in person and do things, and it's not a date. And then when it gets to dating, it's like, okay, we're dating now. You spend money on me, I spend money on you. We're dressing up, we're doing that because we established what we wanted in that talking stage, and we were able to move beyond that. I cherish the talking stage because that lets me know whether I'm going to date you or not. Because the same way men might not just want to spend their money just because, and they don't even know who they're with. I don't want you spending your money on me. Anything a man could give me, he can take back. So I don't really care about all that extra stuff. Let's get to know each other, do what we got to do, and decide together if we want to date.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Can you really take back a high five though? Like once it happened, it happened. You see what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Like, I get that, but where are you going with that?
Oh, absolutely nowhere. I'm just.
Bye. Anyway, yeah, that's just the way I see it, because I don't want you spending unnecessary money. I don't want to waste unnecessary time. Let's get to know each other, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it was just a good time, and we can move forward.
Exactly. And just to go off of what you were saying, speaking of like dating, how are you guys like when it comes to dating, like, and going on dates? I'm like so awkward. Like the whole I
don't sit there and eat salads. I eat my whole food. I eat everything.
Oh no, I eat I eat my food.
And I look cute doing it.
But it's just like I'm the type, like, I would prefer to just like go to a park or go on a walk first for the first, date or whatever, instead of like being at a restaurant. I'm just like so awkward.
I agree.
It's
It's
just too much for me. Like,
I'd rather
hate talking with food people now. Like this whole restaurant thing,
true.
big dog.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm a prompt guy, if that makes sense. I respond to things. I don't talk a lot. Like literally, like for example, like the podcast. Like we talk because it's a prompt. Like if it's like a one-on-one, hey, how's your day? I'm awkward as like I'll even tell you I'm awkward. Whatever expression you have of me, get rid of it. And they'll laugh, of course, and they'll be like, he's so funny. And like, I think that kind of breaks the ice.
No, I'm serious.
But I'm like, nah, I'm dead serious. Like,
so serious.
I'm not going to talk.
Yeah.
I remember I met someone, we used to talk a lot on the phone because we see stuff on stories, see stuff online. This is a friend. And she met me first, she was like, oh, you're really quiet. And I was like, there's loud music, I don't know what to say. Like, we're skating. Like, we'd be like, look at those guys.
This was not a place where we're talking.
Yeah, just obnoxiously yell over the music, bro.
Yeah, like that. And another too, I like personal space a lot. Even if you are my girlfriend, it's very rare I want you like next to me. It's just as opposed to like I'm saying, actually rare.
That's my red flag. That's my red flag.
No, I'm sorry.
I
That sounds so
Like what?
funny.
But hear me
Like,
out,
first
Even if
of
you
all,
want
we're
my
dating,
girlfriend,
put your tone
I don't really want
up.
you next to me.
No. I'm not saying definitely. I'm not saying definitely. I'm saying that like sometimes I like first like I like my first base like just sometimes like I like
Of course.
I'm not saying like let's date with like the whole hands like this way. I'm not saying that.
Never say, yo,
Put 'em
social
on the
distancing.
6 feet
6
apart.
feet.
But like so that's just me and this whole like when you meet people at parties, I don't like that. Don't talk to me here. I will smack you. Get it away from me.
Smack.
It's so weird.
First of all, 9 times out of 10 at a party you're dancing. Nobody could talk to you.
It's so weird.
Imagine trying to talk to somebody while they're dancing. That's mad awkward.
But yeah, that's why I like for dates, has to be in action, right? I like activities, bumper cars, go-kart racing. Nah, mini golf is boring. Roller skating. I hate
Mini
bowling.
golfing's not boring. You just have to be with the right person or right people.
It has to be a very, very fun park. Like I have to like see theatrics.
You gotta go drunk. No, I'm playing. I'm joking.
I don't drink.
No,
so.
go drunk.
I said
But-
the drunk part.
Honestly,
We're
I
gonna
think it's
learn
funny
that
when
from
like someone just doesn't have good hand-eye
Because people
coordination.
keep leaving my high fives in the air.
See, you can't take my
Matter of
high
fact,
five.
matter of fact, clap it right now. They're not gonna see it.
Wait, what?
So they're not gonna see it. But yeah.
But yeah, also going off of that, I have a very spicy question I want to ask you guys. So, with, COVID and everything going on, let's say, you're out on a date, you feeling the vibe, whatever. Are you kissing on the first date? Like,
No, I'm saving that. Saving that for later.
because of COVID or just because?
Stop the cursing.
He saved himself.
To the editors, yo, I feel your pain.
Oh man.
I feel like when it comes to like,
Zoom at 6 a.m. we're just gonna be like, bro, I'm still here.
sorry, bro.
Bro, literally, bro, he's gonna curse, and I'm gonna curse. I'm like,
But no, like when it comes to kissing, I don't want to like kiss you in the first date. I want to get to know you first on talking stage and during the dating stage. And once we like get comfortable enough, like as two people and dating like activities, I highly prefer dating someone like basketball, paintball, other activities that's fun, engaging. Once we get close enough, like that's when like I'll seal the deal.
You be playing basketball on dates? You be out here dunking on guys?
What is that? What is that restaurant called? Where it's like it's literally a restaurant, but there's also a
Clyde
basketball court?
Frazier's.
Boom. There you go. Perfect place.
Been there, loved it.
I haven't.
You really out here breaking ankles on the first date, bro?
Why not?
So she like, she's like,
I'm gonna show you these handles,
no, she's the one for you when she got the dunks in the bag. She put them in the car.
I got shorts under me.
Yo, imagine that. Yo,
you really wanna
yo, I went on the first day. He took me to a basketball park and he literally tore my ACLs. With the
I could see
crossover.
that.
It's fun, you know. You wanna be with someone fun.
He break it back. No, you broke my ankles.
Not my ankles.
No, that's funny.
That's different.
But that's funny.
Nah, when I kiss the first date, no comment. Next question.
It depends. If
No comment's not an option, Richard. What
it's
you
not,
talking about?
you're in a podcast.
Word.
You're entitled to comment.
Obligated.
Obligated. There we go.
That's
That's the word I was
It's in
looking
the
for.
contract.
The contract that I made.
That you made.
I made the contract.
Oh.
That y'all
And
made.
we signed.
I mean, it's cool,
Like two or three dates. Yeah.
I mean, it honestly depends. Have I ever done it? No. Right?
It's so funny.
She knows that we don't.
I don't.
Let me see. Did I? Let me see.
Think about it.
I mean, I'm gonna count.
We don't got the Jeopardy card?
Not the counting under the table.
That's a lot.
Oh,
Of
he's seriously
boop, boop, boop.
Have a little flashback time, bro. Have a little flashback time.
Oh, I did.
Mm.
I did.
Mm.
Oh, that way.
That was once though. Huh? That
You
was
said so many ideas. It looked like you was in that moment just now. Like
Nah, cause I remember that day vividly.
It was
Actually,
good.
It was a
man.
quantity though. He was like, I did.
it wasn't just
but it
one.
was,
It was
it
two.
was a
three.
great day. It was a great day.
I
That
bet
was
it
an
was.
amazing
That
day.
was a lot of
That was
ideas.
amazing. That was an amazing 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Y'all dated for 2 weeks.
I can say that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I would love to know I would love to know what's y'all's spiciest dating stories, but on the next episode.
Facts. And that will wrap up today's
No!
episode.
Okay.
You want more?
You want more, Deona?
There's more we need to talk about, guys.
And you know what they gotta do?
Watch the
Subscribe.
Right. Right. You know what? Definitely watch the next episode. You know.
Yes, but tell us what you thought about this episode in the comments. And I kind of want to spice it up. What spicy dating questions do you guys want to ask for us to answer?
Yeah. We'll answer in the
Honestly,
part 2.
We're gonna put down on Instagram, put it in the comments, and tag all the socials. The Club Noir podcast.
Yes, sir.
We finna get spicy.
Part 2.
Yeah,
Part two.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Okay.
I'm feeling it.
And I wasn't really feeling we got to the meat, but we got to the meat. We can get the potatoes.
We didn't get the
We had the entree
We had the
besides.
appetizers.
Oh, the appetizer. We'll
But
bring the
once
meal
again,
later.
Big shout out to Deona. Big shout out to Joao.
Yes,
Big
yes,
facts.
yes.
I'm gonna put that content in the outro video, in the
Love
description below. Big ups.
Thank you guys for coming, for real.
Word.
Big ups.
Bro.
Big ups. Big ups. And
That's all right.
Nope.